on the gridiron or courtside, you know what time it is. It's
Sports plus life. Sports plus life.
ringside or front court or field pass, we ballin', no. Knuckle up or buckle up, I tell it like it is when I'm on my show. Home run, slam dunk, knockout, or gossip go.
Sports plus life.
Yeah.
Sports plus life. Yo, 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 yo. Ooh. What's up? What's really good? It's your boy Brandon Brevon, host of that show called Sports Plus Life. You feel me? Crackling voice and all. So guess what? Guess what? Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it all the way off now. Yeah. Okay. Okay, first there's some explaining that I need to do because it is Tuesday, February 14th, 2023. Happy Valentine's Day to you all. First of all, I'm doing the show on a Tuesday instead of a Monday because I needed y'all to work with me because I needed to recover from Super Bowl Sunday. So please allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Brandon Brevon Towns, host of that show called Sports Plus Life, that there sports podcast where we talk about all of the necessary topics in sports and all of the necessary topics in life. Also, I was dealing with some audio issues yesterday because I was trying to get maybe half of it done, at least do my segment of where it's just me before I start the interview process. But my audio was acting real funky on me. And so I just shut my computer down, said, you know what, I'll try it again tomorrow, see what I need to do. And I think it's working pretty good. There may be some things that I need to edit, but that's what was going on. Nobody was running. Nobody was hiding. It was today's Valentine's Day, but it's Heartbreak Hotel for the Philadelphia Eagles. It is. That's just what it is. It's Heartbreak Hotel for Bird Gang. But as far as the Super Bowl in itself goes, I had a great time. I had my boys there. It was awesome. I had an awesome time. The only thing that didn't go right was the outcome of the game. But I had a great time, and yeah, I needed to recover yesterday. Oh my goodness, because I was working off of 3 hours of sleep heading into Super Bowl Sunday. Because for whatever reason, Saturday when I got off of work, I didn't go to bed until 4 o'clock, technically Sunday morning, just to get up before 8 o'clock on Sunday morning. And then I'm just like, I'm up now. I'm excited. I was going off of pure adrenaline. So once my company got there and I ended up cooking food until halftime. Oh, God. Thank God I had some help on that. You know, I love you guys so much. But, yeah, so once, I really didn't start sitting down looking at the game, focusing on the game until really the second half. Now, of course, I kept up with the scores but I couldn't really see no commercials, nothing like that. But either way, I had fun, but I was tired. So y'all ready for the realm of sports? I'm ready. We ready? You ready? They all ready. So guess what? Let's get to it. All the 2022 NFL football season, unfortunately, has come to an end. And like I said, 2 days ago, Super Bowl 57 was an absolutely great game, phenomenal game, spectacular game. The only thing that did not go right was the final result, as I rode hard. I said it with my chest. I said the Philadelphia Eagles are going to win. I said I didn't think it was going to be that close. And in the first half, they proved me right. The first half, they dominated the game. And I'm not going to say this was an Eagles collapse, as more of it was adjustment advantage that Kansas City Chiefs and Andy Reid clearly had over Nick Sirianni and the Philadelphia Eagles. But I tell you this much. The Eagles did not lose this game because of Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts was spectacular.
Excellent.
Jalen Hurts was the best player on the field for either team. Yes, Patrick Mahomes won, and Patrick Mahomes played great because when he hurt his ankle late in the second quarter, I said, oh yeah, this is a wrap.
Bye, bitch.
I said, this is a wrap because this ain't the Jacksonville Jaguars he playing, goddammit. This is the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Eagles were up 24-14. And I thought that all looked good, but the Eagles defense, the Philadelphia Eagles defense, which was number 1 in sacks by a landslide, 70 sacks, did not get to Patrick Mahomes once. He did not get sacked once, and Patrick Mahomes was making some big plays with his legs. He was making some big plays with his legs. So you got to give Patrick Mahomes all the credit in the world. I do. I give Patrick Mahomes all of the credit in the world because he stood up there. He fought with a high ankle sprain for the last 2.5 games. So I got to give him major props there. I just hate to see an effort like that from Jalen Hurts go off or not, because statistically, Jalen Hurts smoked Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes had 182 yards passing. Jalen Hurts had 304 yards passing and 70 yards rushing, 4 total TDs, 3 rushing, 1 in the air. Kid was the best player on the field. I'm not saying this, and I'm not being biased. The only mistake that Jalen Hurts made was a fumble in the second quarter when it looked like the Eagles were going to take control of the game. They were up 14-7. Jalen Hurts fumbles. It gets returned back by Nick Bolton for the Kansas City Chiefs for a touchdown. And even though that tied it at 14, the Eagles still scored 10 more points. But for all intents and purposes, they should have been up 24-7 or 28-7 going into halftime. And maybe you see a different game, maybe not. I don't know. But it happened the way it happened. Patrick Mahomes, hey, look, Patrick Mahomes, all of the accolades that Patrick Mahomes is receiving and is going to receive all the way up until next football season and beyond, he absolutely deserves it because the Kansas City Chiefs beat a better football team. Patrick Mahomes led a win over a football team that was better. The Philadelphia Eagles are better than the Kansas City Chiefs, but
You niggas are crazy!
the Kansas City Chiefs were better coached. That's really the best way I can put it. The Kansas City Chiefs were a better coached team because the second half adjustments that the Chiefs made was outstanding. The Eagles defense did not have a clue what was going on in the second half of the game. They did not have a clue. They could not stop Kansas City at all. And now, as far as that penalty goes, I hated the call. I hated the call because, for one, it had no bearings. It literally had no bearings because it was an uncatchable ball. Now, I know the difference between defensive holding and pass interference. Had that call been pass interference, I think it would have been ruled an uncatchable pass. But it was defensive holding. Bradbury admitted to it. Something that was so small and minor, I wouldn't have chosen that spot to call it because now you're affecting the outcome of the game. Let the players decide that. If Kansas City kicked the field goal to go up 3, I would have liked to have seen Jalen Hurts with the ball with about 90 seconds left to get the Eagles in position to kick a game-tying field goal or even maybe score a touchdown to win the game. So I think the referees did a disservice to what was an outstanding all-time great Super Bowl game. You know, I think the referees did a disservice to that because, you know, the game was great. No matter who you were rooting for, whether you're rooting for the Chiefs or whether you're rooting for the Eagles, you came in that fourth quarter saying, this is a hell of a game. And you just wanted to see it end. You didn't want to see the game end like that. I know I didn't. I did not want to see that Super Bowl, which was so spectacular, end like that. I wanted to see it end better than that. I think the fans deserved for the game to end better than what we got, unfortunately. And I'm not saying that's the reason why the Eagles lost the game. No, the Eagles' defense is the reason why they lost the game. But I think for the referees to make a call in that situation was terrible. I think it was terrible. And a stand-up guy for James Bradbury for saying, yeah, it was a hold. And don't James Bradbury look like Tay Diggs? That's the first thing I said. That's Tay Diggs' little brother. But I think the referees, and it wasn't even the line judge who threw the flag. The referee who was right next to the play didn't throw the flag. It was an official from the end zone who threw the flag on James Bradbury for defensive holding, which in effect ended the game because the Kansas City Chiefs kick a field goal and it's 8 seconds left, and Jalen Hurts, you know, tried a Hail Mary pass, which he was nowhere near the 50-yard line, and he said he slipped. That, and what I also heard was the field conditions on that turf in Arizona was not good at all, and there were players slipping all game. So that's kind of odd when, you one of the reasons why you have the Super Bowl in certain cities is because of either it's a dome or weather conditions will be so great. But, be that as it may, congratulations. I am not petty. I'm not going to be petty. A lot of people want to hear from Sean, want to hear what Sean has to say. So do I. But I think that congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs. But Jalen Hurts, Philadelphia, don't mess around. Y'all better pay that man. Y'all better pay that man. Jalen Hurts earned his money. He has proven that he is a franchise quarterback, and he showed up. That Philadelphia offense, the run games didn't so much show up, but Jalen Hurts was the goddamn run game. But A.J. Brown showed up. Devontae Smith showed up. Dallas Goedert showed up. That offensive line showed up. So if you're the Philadelphia Eagles defense, you have to be hanging your head today because the Eagles defense let that offense down. They did. They let that offense down, point blank, period. So congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs. 2 Super Bowl titles in the last 3 years. 2 Super Bowl titles in the last 4 years, excuse me. You're now hearing the talk of, is the Chiefs a dynasty yet? I think they have to tackle on one more ring before we start talking dynasty. But they're, if you want to say, are they a dynasty, they're an AFC dynasty. Without question, hosting 5 straight AFC championship games. But again, I give Patrick Mahomes credit. I give Andy Reid credit. I think he has firmly implanted himself as the best coach outside of Bill Belichick. I thought that was a tie between him and Mike Tomlin, just because of the tenure that Mike Tomlin has had in Pittsburgh, never having a losing season, going to a couple Super Bowls, winning one himself. But now that Andy Reid has 2, I think that puts him head and shoulders above. I had Reid and Andy Reid and Mike Tomlin tied. You could have made a case for Pete Carroll as well as Sean McVay, but now clearly it's Andy Reid. Clearly. So, with that being said, what y'all think about that halftime show though? Yeah, I mean, Rihanna pregnant again. It's crazy because when she first came out, I was like, oh, look at her. She still got some baby fat on her. Oh, that is so cute. Go ahead, Riri.
Yowza!
Then my homeboy Greg was like, nah, bro, I think she pregnant.
Pump diddly dee!
And I was like, nah, she ain't pregnant again. But then, like, literally 5 minutes into the show, I saw she wasn't moving at all. I said, well, damn. I said she is pregnant, and I posted on Facebook, is Rihanna knocked up again? And now it's been confirmed that she's pregnant, but the show was awesome. Now, I started asking some questions to my company who was in the house. I started asking, well, which Super Bowl halftime show did you like better? Did you like Rihanna's from this year or the one last year? And I had it was pretty much 50-50 split, which I respect everybody's opinion. My opinion as far as this year's halftime show was, I think that people were more so spur of the moment because, Rihanna is the one that we just got. I don't think Rihanna's halftime show was better than last year with Dre, Snoop, Eminem, 50 Cent, Mary J, and Kendrick. But what Rihanna did for me personally, and this is just my opinion, Rihanna reminded me of how great her music is, how great she is. Rihanna has got hits on top of hits on top of hits. And I'm like, bruh, it's time to line that verses up between Rihanna and Beyonce. I think Rihanna got Beyonce. I'm going to be honest with you, because every single song that she did was my shit at one point or another in my life. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I can think of some Beyonce singles where I was just like, okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But Rihanna, every song she performed, I was like, that was my joint. That was my joint. That was my joint. And she didn't even go fully into the bag. Like, she didn't do Ponder Replay or Unfaithful, or she didn't do, she started off with the beat to Birthday Cake, the song with Chris Brown, but she didn't do that. She didn't even do the new song, Lift. I said, I wonder if she gonna do Lift. My boys were like, she better not sing that song, because everybody kind of wanted to turn up. She didn't do Man Down. She didn't do a lot of her hits. She didn't do Oh Baby, I'm a Rock Star. Like, Rihanna got some hits. I'm saying y'all better start lining that one up. Now, I'm pretty sure if they did a versus, it wouldn't happen in public probably until after she had the baby, unless they line that shit up like within the next month or two. But I would do it, bro. I would line the Rihanna versus Beyonce versus up. You got to, because Riri, she did her thing. She definitely did her thing. And ASAP Rocky is putting in work, ain't it? ASAP is putting in work, bruh. He mean that she ain't going nowhere no time soon. I mean, real talk. She ain't going nowhere. So that was my takeaway from the Super Bowl as a game, as a halftime show. It was, like I said, it was a great game, great halftime show. I just wish the game had ended different. Even if Kansas City had won the game, I wanted to see what Jalen Hurts could have done with more time to actually get his team in position to either tie or win the game. You know, I was interested in seeing that. You know, you almost thought that the Eagles scored too quick the last time they had the ball when they tied it up at 35, hit that big play to Devontae Smith, and then you run it in, you get 2-point conversion. But I guess I understand why, because I guess you figure if you don't get the 2, you wanted to have some time where you stop them, you know, you can have time to potentially get a game-winning field goal. But we didn't get to see that. Thank you, Zebras. Thank you very much. I mean, you know, it is what it is. Now, these interviews should be very, very interesting, because I want to hear what the folks got to say. I really do. I want to hear what the people's got to say. And you know who those people are. You know, it's going to be Cud and David. It's going to be Brother Sean. It's going to be Calvin, Tony. If I can get, I ain't been able to get in contact with Tony for a minute. So, you know, we just have to see what's up. We have to see what it is. But yeah, I'm fighting through these audio issues, and I'm just trying to do what I got to do to bring a good Sports Plus Life post-Super Bowl show like we did last year, because last year's show about the Super Bowl was classic. What up, cuzzo? Cudden David, what it do?
What's up, bro?
Man, you know where I'm calling. I'm calling to get your reaction from that game. I had to recover yesterday, bro.
That's fine, bro.
Wake your ass up.
Well, when you work 6 days a week, different.
Yeah. Well, I understand. You don't have to flex the work schedule, dog. But how you doing, man?
Tired, bro.
I hear you. So, what did you think of the game?
Yeah, it was alright. It was a good game. Like I figured it would be. Nothing real spectacular.
You said nothing real spectacular?
It was good to see. Good to see a good Super Bowl again, game-wise.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was a great game.
Yeah, game-wise. Some shifty shit near the end, but I figured that was going to happen.
Yeah, I don't like the way the game ended at all.
Yeah, but, you know, it was kind of, people were kind of alluding to it all week, so it was like, oh, here goes some fuckery.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care if the Chiefs had won. I just wanted to see Jalen Hurts have the ball in his head. Like, I thought that they shouldn't have made that call at that time.
Correct. So, like I said, I'm not surprised by the fuckery, but it is the NFL, and the NFL needs a storyline to drive to. And Patrick Mahomes made the better storyline than Jalen Hurts. Not to say Jalen Hurts hasn't had a storyline all season.
I was going to say, but Jalen Hurts was the best player on the field.
Fair. Patrick Mahomes is closer to a storyline ending for the NFL purposes. Like you've seen the Sports Center takes and everything like that, and now how they're already deeming Patrick Mahomes one of the best quarterbacks of all time now.
Oh, yeah, now that he has that second Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, but there's other quarterbacks, like he's jumped past freaking Peyton Manning. Like, they scratched, like, a whole bunch of people. Like, what the fuck? Like, this kid, he's good. He still needs time.
Well, I think that he's the best quarterback active so far, because now, since Brady retired, he's the only quarterback now with multiple Super Bowl rings. But as far as, like, jumping past, like, Peyton Manning, to me, he jumps past Peyton Manning if he wins another one, obviously, because Peyton Manning had 2. Now he's got 2.
He's got 2.
But,
exactly.
people are going to ask about the eye test, but, bro, You know who we gotta call. We gotta call the homie. We gotta call my brother.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, hold that thought for a second. Reality podcast, my niggas. Hold that. Oh, there he is.
Hello?
What up, homie?
We're calling about the extended warranty on your vehicle.
My dad extended warranty. This car, that shit about to die anyway.
Hey, bro, I was trying to recover yesterday, and plus I was having some audio issues. So while I got it working right now, I'm getting these calls in. But we had to hear from you. It's me and David, bro. So let's I just had David's takeaway from the game. David, tell Sean what you thought about the game.
It was a hell of a game. Hell of a game. That's what I expected to see from these two teams. It was a hell of a Super Bowl, as far as game-wise. The fuckery is real, but it's the NFL, so I wouldn't expect nothing less.
Hey, that's how I feel about it.
Hell of a game on both of their parts. Philly played a hell of a game. I was kind of like disappointed, and they had that 10-point lead going in a half.
Yeah, the Eagles didn't lose because of their offense. Their offense showed up. Sean, I just told David, Jalen Hurts was the best player on the field between either team. He was the best. Jalen Hurts was spectacular.
Yeah, like his numbers were better than Mahomes.
Everything about he made that one mistake when he fumbled the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, that tied the game up at 14. The Eagles still scored 10 more points.
10 points.
Yeah, the Eagles' defense lost them this game.
But you can't tell me that the same Philly defense that had them ranked number 1 and 2 all season, now at the Super Bowl, now they ain't shit.
I mean, they didn't touch Mahomes.
They didn't even touch Mahomes. That same Philly defense that put every other team on their ass that they played.
But you got to think, though, and like I said, you have to think also about the field conditions as well.
Yeah, I brought that up.
Mama was slipping. Everybody played on the same field, but it's still a factor on both teams because nobody really got any pressure. Like, I mean, the Chiefs were getting Jalen off of the ball, too, but I mean, I don't know.
I think that
the times I seen Hassan Reddick, I seen him slipping and dudes just laying on him. So
yeah, I just wish that the Eagles D coordinator had went to a zone instead of staying in man to man, at least in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, he had to. He made no adjustments, bro. And that was the biggest thing about it. Hold on. Yeah. Can you have another one? Jackson.
Another one.
Jay Khaled.
And another one.
Another one.
Nothing else. Get on my face. Bye.
I'm gonna play that. I want another one.
Yeah, I want another one. Another one. Yeah. He made no adjustments at all. We shouldn't have. That little zig route that come across and come back shit killed us twice. 2 touchdowns on both of those plays because they couldn't. I mean, you should have seen it coming. No adjustments to the zone. He stayed in man. You didn't even put any no type of pressure on Patrick Mahomes, being that he was wobble off of 1 foot. I know they wanted to keep true, but you can't keep true in the Super Bowl. You have to throw some wrinkles in there because you're doing the same thing. Go give them the opportunity to make adjustments. Who you going against? Andy Reid, who always makes good coaching adjustments. That's why his ass is in the damn Super Bowl or in a position to put his team in the Super Bowl almost every year since he's been in Kansas City. You have to have better coaching. Experience showed in this game on the second half of motherfucking Jonathan Gannon. You can't fault the offensive. You can't fault
the offense at all.
The offense did their thing. They moved the ball. We went down and came right back up the field. This guy, that 8 points, got that shit right back.
Yeah.
Defense. That shit turned on the defense, and the defense couldn't get the shit done. It's upsetting. It was so upsetting. That's what I'm mad about, is because we had that shit in the bag. He just didn't do his job. I wish somebody hired that nigga and get him the fuck out of here because he needs to fucking go. And I know he's in the fucking running for, I think, the Texans, Cardinals or something. I don't know who the fuck name is. Walmart. Get this nigga the fuck out of here. And send his ass to the job. You have all that talent on your team, and you couldn't get the job done on the defensive side of the ball. It lets me know with a lesser team, we really got destroyed. You got names everywhere on that side of the field. You got damn near the 85 Bears pass and rush on that side of the football. You can't get the job done. I know that's Pat Mahomes, nigga, but fuck, that's Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce. You mean to tell me? Look at this shit. Look at this shit out there. Travis Kelce is running like wide the fuck open. Route running my ass, nigga. The Bengals stop this motherfucker. All other teams can scheme to stop this motherfucker. But you mean to tell me that you can't goddamn stop? You got the number one receiving target, nigga. I know that, nigga. I wouldn't have shut him down to make everybody else win. But it seems like they did it anyway with them goddamn zig routes. So,
and that's what I was basing I thought the Eagles would win because I thought that their secondary was better than what Kansas City was bringing to the table.
But their coaching is way better than our coaching. That's what it boils down to.
The ability to make adjustments clearly because the first half of the game, the Eagles dominated. You take that fumble return for a touchdown away, the Eagles dominated the first half of the game.
24-7, yeah.
They kept Patrick Mahomes on the sideline. They dominated that game. So I'm thinking, the Eagles about to do their thing.
Yeah.
They gonna bring it home.
Mm-hmm.
And credit to I'm not credit to Kansas City for making the adjustments, but again, I don't think that call was the reason why the Eagles lost. But I think in that type of game, a game that is so great, we deserve to see Jalen Hurts with the football to see if he could get the Eagles in position to send it in overtime or win.
Yes, it robbed us of the opportunity. I'm not saying we was going to win, but the opportunity to give us a chance to go down the field, which we were doing easily. And that is what makes me upset about that call, because it was a pussy-ass call, but it was a tic-tac-y-ass call.
Oh, it was. And it was made by the end zone.
They were going to call something. They should have called the one in the first quarter, which was more egregious than that fucking one that he did on it. But you go wait until the end of the game when the game is on the line, knowing that if you call that fucking ball, it's nowhere we can stop the clock. That's what makes me off. Like, you let the motherfuckers play the whole game and then your call ends the game. It should never end that way in the Super Bowl.
Never. And it wasn't even the line. The line judge who was right next to the play did not throw the flag. It was the end zone judge.
It was the end zone judge, but it happened on the line. So you mean to tell me that the line nigga ain't see, but the end zone nigga way down there throw it?
Right, exactly.
Hit the ground? Like, you got to be fucking kidding me, bro. You got to be kidding me.
Well,
that story was already written a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's the NFL. Shit happens. Everybody gets shit calls. And it just sucks that it happened at that time. Whatever the case may be, it's so tough to get back there. I love the fact that my quarterback got this experience to get there. I just knew we had the team to do that shit, and we let that shit slip.
Yeah, that's the thing that hurts my feelings the most is because Jalen Hurts may have played his best game of the year, and he was so. And the thing about it is, everybody is going to give Pat Mahomes the glory. He does it, but he does deserve it. But Jalen Hurts was so head and shoulders better than him, at least on this day. In that day, in that game, Jalen Hurts was the best player on the field, and his defense didn't show up to support him, and that one hurts. That sucks.
Yeah.
Now, I called Sean after the game partly because I was drunk, and I wanted to check on him. The Cowboy fans, as soon as the game over, called me immediately.
Well, but that's what losers do. They were sitting in their loser drawers on the couch, waiting to see us fail. But you want to know what's so sad? Yeah, we didn't get no Super Bowl. We didn't get the shit like that. My quarterback been in here for 3 years, 2 years as a starter. Your quarterback getting paid what? How many years as a starter? That nigga ain't even sniffed the NFC Championship. You need to understand that you need to worry about your own team going forward, because next year y'all ain't getting no better. I can promise you that. Because guess what? You still got to pay Mike. You start got to get ready to give Micah his money. You got to get ready to get Diggs his money. And your GM sucks at GM, and so
who is also your owner?
Your owner, that's who's your owner. Yeah, sucks at the fucking. That's what I'm saying. So they can laugh all they want to, because next year we gonna smash their ass even more, and they can sit there and complain. We gonna see more of this shit, and they gonna see less of it. So yeah, we out of here on this one. But let us get back to where we get back in the playoffs and get a chance of it, because unless something drastic happen in the NFC, I ain't scared of nobody out there.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say that. In a weak NFC conference, where you never know who that team is going to be that ascends to that next level, because coming into the season, nobody had the Eagles as a high pick to make the Super Bowl. So you figure there may be another team. Does Aaron Rodgers stay with the Packers? I think people better pay attention to the Detroit Lions. What if Daniel Jones gets
Detroit,
Yes, people need to pay attention to the Detroit Lions. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What is San Francisco going to do at quarterback? What is New York going to do about Danny Saquon and some more weapons? So to me, the most easily established team.
Don't forget the Commanders if they actually get a quarterback that's working.
But I mean, the team that has
There you go, too.
the team that has the most solid foundation to work with, because we don't know what Matt Stafford is going to look like when he comes back for the Rams. McVay is going to come back. But to me, the team with the most established foundation is clearly Philadelphia. So I know it's hard as hell to get back, but and you say this every year about the losing team of the Super Bowl. I wouldn't be surprised to see him back. Like, I honestly would not be surprised if Philadelphia was in the same position, at least be in the NFC Championship game next year. Because Jalen Hurts is only going to get better.
Yeah, but it also depends on the team around him as well, because we got to pay him.
Right.
So
is Kelsey going to come back?
That's the biggest thing. I feel in my heart that Kelsey gonna give it a year, just depending on how much he really likes Jaden. If he would have won, Jalen, if he would have won,
yeah, he would have been out. He would have won.
He would have been gone. But I feel like he's like, look, I can smell it. I can taste another one with this dude. We can get back there with the right key pieces. He may come back. He might come back. It's a couple people I would like to see re-sign. Off rip, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah, Gardner-Johnson.
He should be the first one to get paid. I don't really think that we're going to be able to keep Bradbury unless he wants to come back just because of the strength of Philadelphia, but he's earned his money to be somewhere else.
Fletcher Cox is a free agent too, so is Brandon Graham.
Fletcher Cox is going. He's not going to be able to come back. Brandon Graham may be one that I would like to see come back on another 1-year deal, just for another one.
You don't think Fletcher Cox would do another 1-year deal?
I don't think Fletch wants to win. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how much of a brotherhood they already speak about it, but they also really be doing it from all the stuff that I see. But it also depends on the cap hit and how much money we got.
Talking about Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham, they career Eagles, man.
Yeah, I know they're career Eagles, though, but you got to pay other people.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Miles Sanders is a free agent.
Yes, Miles Sanders agent, which I don't think that I really honestly don't. That may be the hit we take and draft a running back, because we have the cap to do the draft a good running back. We got 2 first rounds. We've never drafted a running back in the first round, but this would be the time to do that. Because if you get you a first round running back, and I want Miles Sanders back, but somebody can't get paid. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, and then, I mean, if Miles Sanders is a casualty,
Kenny Gainwell was in there doing this thing too.
If Miles Sanders is a casualty, you can draft a running back, and you still have Gainwell, who's on a rookie deal too.
Yeah.
So
the 2 running backs, because Boston Scott is a free agent too. He's very important to us too.
I think Boston Scott will come back. Boston Scott is like that.
It depends on how much money he wants. I know Boston Scott would love to come back. I would want him to come back too. I would want our team to
You want the whole team back. You want to run it back.
Of course, but somebody has to go. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that. When I say somebody has to go, it also depends on if Kelsey wants to come back or retire or not, because he's going to take up some money. If he doesn't, and he doesn't come back, and we move on from that, then we have room to sign to keep a Miles Sanders. You know what I'm saying? To keep maybe Bradbury and put some of that money in Bradbury's pocket or something like that, because Jason's going to take a good cap hit to pay him if he wants to come back for the year, and if they want to keep him, he's going to take a nice little chunk depending on how they work it. But one thing about money, I'm not worried about how he wrote me. You hear me?
Oh, yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I hope the Eagles take the attitude of, we got unfinished business. We want to run this bitch back, even if it is a bunch of 1-year deals, and just hope and pray to God that the injury gods are on their side like they were this year. I really hope that, because, I mean, you know they got to be sick to their damn stomach. About
the offense showed their ass up.
No, I mean, but still, I mean, Jalen Hurts would look mad, bro. He looked mad when he left.
Of course he is. He's a winner.
Yeah, exactly. Even though, like, out of y'all lost the game, but Jalen Hurts won. He won.
That boy.
He won. Because that motherfucker showed off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he won.
He won.
But what else sucks too, though, is we losing our offensive coordinator. You know what I mean? Even though they promoted from within, I still think that he was pretty decent at doing what he had to do. Our offense ran smooth. That was never our issue. Our effing defense, bro.
Well, Sirianni's an offensive guy, too, so, you know, he does have to play calling, too.
Yeah, sure. I know he has some say in that shit, too. But, I mean, like, and I feel like we'll be good on the offensive side of the ball. All our pieces are still together. We still got Goddard under contract. We just signed Goddard to a contract last year. So we got Goddard, we got AJ, we still got Devontae under his rookie jump. Quez Watkins still under his rookie jump.
Devontae gonna have to get paid soon too.
Devontae going to have to get paid, but you hoping like the Cat, but he's still like, you know, maybe two years away from that. You know what I'm saying? So you hoping the Cat still looks good. Like I said, we'll take casualties and all that stuff. Maybe we'll draft, you know, replacements and stuff like that. And shout out to Devontae because he did his thing too. That boy and them hands, boy, I don't give a fuck what that jump. They ain't call that jump. They call that jump.
And I hope he doesn't go anywhere because to me, Devontae Smith could be a number one, but I think he would be a better number two. Like he could be like that's how I feel about T. Higgins. He could be a number one, but I think he should stay next there to Chase. I think Devontae should stay next to AJ Brown. Devontae and AJ Brown was murdering them niggas. I was like.
But we still got 2 years to that at least.
Oh, at least, yeah. I'm looking at your notable free agents now. Okay, so you got Fletcher Cox, Robert Quinn, Brandon Graham, Javon Hargrave, Kelsey Bradbury, T.J. Edwards, Sue, Linval Joseph, Boston Scott, Zach Pascal, Miles Sanders, Gardner Johnson. Who gives a fuck about Gardner Minshew? Tyree Jackson.
Get the fuck out of here. Jackson, he ain't shit. He'll probably come back because he don't need no money for real. Ain't nobody want him. I'm telling you, the only motherfuckers that we have to are major ones that I wouldn't mind. I can give you our top five. Gardner Johnson has to be number one. He has to be number one. Depends on Kelsey. Like I said, depends on what Kelsey want to do. But he's a big one too because he's like the engine on our line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's a big one too. But we got to keep Gardner Johnson back. Miles Sanders, Bradbury. Bradbury's the third because our secondary is monsters with him, and if we could get him, it'd be nice. But he's gonna want big bucks, so I really don't see that. But I would want to see if I could keep him. You got TJ Edwards, I would say too. Even though you got N'Kobe Dean, you still need that linebacker. That boy balled out this year. He deserves some money, but I would like to keep him.
Yeah, because Kazir White too, another outside linebacker.
Yeah. But it's gonna be hard to sign those boys. You know what I mean?
Yep.
A lot of them played out of their contracts to get paid. But it all depends on what they want to do and where they want to be at too. Because you will take a certain type of money to stay where you are, or it depends on some people want their bag and go play and get their bag. So it all depends on if you really love the situation you're in and still get paid, or if you just want to go get paid and maybe you just get in a better.
Well, I think as far as the path to the Super Bowl, when I'm looking at both teams, the Eagles and the Chiefs, even though the Chiefs won, I think the path back to the Super Bowl was actually easier for Philadelphia because of the question marks in the NFC. As far as the AFC goes, you look at Kansas City, players acquired and coaching matters around that conference. And what I mean by that is Sean Payton's coming to Denver. We'll see what happens. Kellen Moore is now offensive coordinator for the Chargers. We'll see what happens. Deshaun Watson will have an offseason where he can actually play with his teammates. We'll see what happens. We don't know what's going to happen with Lamar Jackson. Joe Burrow and Cincinnati are angry. So they will be back.
They get a fucking quarterback.
They will be back. I think Bill O'Brien going back to the New England Patriots where Mac Jones can actually have an offensive coordinator is going to be huge. I think the Patriots will be back next year. You don't know what's happening with Miami and Tua. Buffalo is going to be healthy. So, and everybody's gunning for Kansas. Everybody in that conference is gunning for Kansas City. Yeah. Everybody's gunning for Kansas City. And that should be real interesting because, look, they're the king again. But again, like I said, Buffalo's coming. Cincinnati's coming. New England is coming. Baltimore's coming. Cleveland is coming. Who knows what you call it? Who's the quarterback for the Steelers? Kenny Pitts. Who knows what Kenny Pitts is gonna look like?
Nigga, Jacksonville coming.
I was gonna say Jacksonville is really coming, because you might as well say Jacksonville has a cakewalk in that division. Jacksonville is coming. So the AFC is, to me, is definitely the tougher out as far as getting to the Super Bowl. Now, fellas, and David, I'm gonna start with you. You know I got to bring up the halftime show. David, what did you think about the halftime show?
No comment.
No. You got the comment.
It's good to see her, because, I mean, it's Rihanna, and who don't want to see Rihanna?
I know that's right.
But other than that, it was meh. I mean, like last year's Super Bowl with Dr. Dre, Eminem, 50 Cent. I mean, that was a Super Bowl halftime show. This Super Bowl halftime show was like, it's Rihanna, cool. And I looked at her, I was like, damn, I think she's pregnant again.
That's right.
I think she's pregnant again.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I got that feeling she's pregnant again.
Boy, A$AP Rocky is putting in work.
Yeah, he putting in that work for real. That's the true nature of that remix work. He put in work. That bro so pregnant that she ain't gonna have time to put out another album, because she could be rocking around the house with 8 babies in her hands, and yeah, that nigga be out in the street.
Oh no! I guarantee you, Riri gonna cut it off for a while after this, because she the breadwinner in that relationship. Don't get it twisted. A$AP gonna be a stay-at-home dad. Okay. Sean, what did you think of the halftime show?
I'm on the other side of the fence of that shit, bro. I think that shit was amazing to me. I like I think all of her, just her going back out there, first of all, being pregnant, which I assumed that she was. I just didn't put it out. Like Trish and them, I was like, is she pregnant again? And Trish was like, oh, she just had a baby, and it sucks for you to think like that, but lo and behold, she was pregnant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
I mean, like, I thought she was rocking. That's a new baby, isn't it?
Because, like, at the beginning, which made me assume that she rubbed her stomach like she was telling us, hey, I'm pregnant.
I thought it was baby fat at first. I thought it was baby fat, but one of my niggas was like, no, she pregnant. And then 5 minutes into the show, I was like, no, you right, she pregnant. She's not moving at all.
That's what superstars usually do when they announce it to the world. They rub their belly. Same thing with Beyonce when she was on stage.
Yeah.
So that's why I assumed she was pregnant. But anyway, outside of that, outside of the pregnancy, I feel like she really had courage to, like, I thought the platform idea and the people dancing on that joint was pretty fucking dope.
That was dope.
Stage left and right, and all the cuts she got, it's just clear to see, like, nobody's really fucking with Rihanna. Like, all them songs is like classic sweet hit ass songs. So, like, yeah, I love the fierce ass attitude she had on stage. Like, she never even left from being gone on that shit, bro. I thought it was a dope ass jump, bro. I really enjoyed it. Thoroughly did, and I think she did an excellent job.
Okay, now this is what I think, and I said this earlier before we got on the line. I thought that last year's halftime show was better, but what Rihanna's performance did for me was remind me that she is the shit. And I have to say this, I think Rihanna got Beyonce. They need to set up the verses now, because every song that Rihanna performed, I was like, that's my shit. That's my shit. That's my shit.
I'm telling you, every song she went to was like, oh, that's that classic. Oh, that's that classic.
Yes.
And it's not, and it's like, I mean, it's like, even it's so crossover from all of her songs that you can hear them.
Yes.
Everywhere. Even though Beyonce is the same way, but I feel like Rihanna is more of that, and I feel like just listening to all them songs, ain't no verses between her and Beyonce. She better have some songs with Destiny Child in order to get on that. Right. That's the only way she can do it.
She better play Survivor.
Beyonce albums alone and her songs ain't fucking with Riri.
Not at all, bro. Not at all.
That's how it come from me, but they're
not strong enough to stand on their own as Rihanna.
No, she better call J. Cole and Michelle and tell them come out there and help her. Because she gonna need it fucking with Riri.
That's like when Mario and Omarion did the verses. Omarion had to go in to the B2K bag.
Yeah, he gonna need to go to the because you ain't got enough hits by yourself playing the fuck with.
Yeah, you don't.
You can't do that, dog. And all together, bro. Yeah, bro, I really and truly enjoyed that thing.
Yeah, I did too. I enjoyed the show, and like I said,
I thought it was.
I thought that David, I'm with you when you say.
Better than 50 Cent fat ass hanging upside down.
Well, yeah. See that.
Yeah, I can do without that part of the halftime show.
Yeah, that was the weak link of last year's halftime show.
Yeah, that
Like,
was
why are you upside down, bro?
You can probably be in the.
No, you not. You a grown man, dog. You too old to be in the club.
And you gonna be in the hospital upside down like that on that bar like that.
A year later, they still bombing on 50 Cent for hanging upside down.
Yeah,
Come on, bro.
simple ass.
Yeah, you know that. What Sean? What'd you say last year? The blood was rushing to his head.
Yeah,
You know you tired. You know you gonna want a vitamin water.
And David said last year 50 Cent looked like a 50 cent piece.
Yeah,
But
that nigga was round.
But David, I'm with you as far as I thought last year's halftime show was better. But Rihanna's catalog will kill anybody in a versus.
Man,
Like that's what I like. That's like what I was doing. Like, cause you know,
ego.
cause see, this is how it was for me. First of all, I'm realizing, like everybody else, damn, she pregnant. But then when I actually started paying attention to the songs that she was doing, I was like, yo, I absolutely loved every fucking song, and she didn't even go that deep into her bag.
yeah, she didn't even do. Did she even do Umbrella?
She didn't. No, yeah, she did do Umbrella. She did Umbrella, she did do Umbrella, but she didn't do Man Down. She didn't do Ponder Replay. I'm saying she didn't do Ponder Replay.
She didn't do Round of Applause.
She didn't do Round of Applause. She didn't do Unfaithful. She didn't do I'm a Rock Star. She didn't do none of that shit. She didn't even go that deep into her bag, and it was still fire. That's why I was like, yo, y'all need to start up the promotion for Rihanna versus Beyonce versus. Because while I know about the Beehive shit, and I don't give a fuck, because Beyonce's fan base
happening because Beyonce ain't got nothing for her.
I know, but see, Beyonce's fan base is why Beyonce wins all these Grammys and this, that, and the third. But if you go toe for toe in the verses, song for song,
You'll get destroyed.
exactly right. Yes.
As long as it ain't as strong as people's led it to believe.
And no, it
don't have it.
She got to go into her destiny, child.
She would have to.
And you still couldn't do it.
No.
Rihanna been by herself the whole time.
Yeah, she still couldn't do it even with her destiny song.
Yeah, man.
That's all.
Yeah, man. I mean, I enjoyed the halftime show. Like I said, I thought that last year's was better, but it, like I said, it just reminded me that, Lord have mercy, Rihanna. Oh shit, that's a new one.
Oh, you gonna put the two bitches together.
That's a new one, Rihanna.
I think
Hey, bro, it's cool, man. I thought about it myself from time to time too.
Hey, bro, if I have a daughter, if I have another daughter, that's what I'm gonna name her, Rihanna.
Beyonce, Jacqueline, Town. Mercedes, Cindy.
Oh my god, yo, no, I'm serious. But what it reminded me of,
You got a patent it, bro. Rihanna in the building.
yeah, Rihanna. Hey.
Mercedes.
Oh my god, yo, bro. I think I'm ready to go make another daughter now, just to have that name.
You better have my money.
It better have my money. But I'm looking at Rihanna's catalog, and like Rihanna's catalog is just
Open this door.
Rihanna's catalog is just like ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
And the fact is,
Don't lock the door.
she messes with people who make hits, like her hits with Justin Timberlake. I mean, the girl got hits with everybody.
I mean, I'm not saying that Beyonce don't, but I'm saying that Beyonce has hits out there where it's kind of like, yeah, okay, meh.
Yeah, I can do without.
I can do without. It's like top 3. I feel like all of her songs are like. It's like, you know, you hear that song, you be like, man, that shit my shit. Oh shit, man, that shit my shit.
That's how that's literally how I was during the halftime show. I was like, yo, that song was my shit. That song was my shit. And I'm thinking about all the songs that she didn't perform. She didn't perform Don't Stop the Music. Oh no, yes she did. She did perform that one. She didn't perform Hate. She didn't perform Hate That I Love You. She didn't perform Shut Up and Drive. You know, she didn't, you know, like, and all of these songs are fucking like ridiculous. Like, I mean, they were like, She didn't perform Go Hard, the song with Jeezy. That was my shit.
True.
You know, she didn't do Rock Star. Like, yo, Beyonce got a bag, yo. She has a catalog. Oh my God, yeah. I just want to know, honestly, the main reason why I want to see Rihanna versus Beyonce or Beyonce in a versus is I want to see him in a versus so I can hear the whole Beehive just shut the fuck up.
You know they
Too big of a, that's his own separate country right there. It's Beyonce people.
Yeah, you fucking around. They about to have war with us now. We about
They about to come and cancel all three of us.
And we got all the fucking opinions. Come for me.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is she paying your bills? Because if she's not paying your bills, shut the fuck up.
Right.
Because honestly, the Beehive is paying her bills because they keep buying her shit.
Keep buying her shit, and the shit that's really just
yeah. So if unless Beyonce is paying your bills and you're part of the Beehive, shut up. Rihanna's better. I said it. Rihanna's better. And ASAP Rocky realized that, so he's put in work. He's put in work.
Look at my neighbor. Hey, Trent, look at the neighbor.
Oh, and Sean, before we get off, because I gotta get London off the bus in a few seconds. Rihanna in a few minutes. Reality podcast. Your video. I wanna say this to the listeners. The video was dope. This is what me and my brother kind of been keeping from the audience. That's what he wanted me to go with him to do, and it was a pleasure watching. The video was dope. It's being shared all over Facebook. I'm proud of you. I was proud to be there. You know you my dog. You know I love you. We got upcoming music that we gonna do. But I wanted to put that out there because I've been holding this for the last 3 weeks. But now that it's out there, I'm gonna put it out there on the podcast. Do the promotion for you as well. It's called Dinner and a Movie. I shared it on my Facebook platform. It's available wherever you can stream music. It's an absolutely wonderful song. The video is wonderful. And my brother's just having fun. We just having fun.
Just having fun. I'm going to also put the live version out to the song. I'll be getting requests for that too. Instead of just my original studio one, I'm going to put the live version out as well. Probably come out either tonight or tomorrow. I'll put it out.
Okay. David, any thoughts?
No, it's a banging ass track, yo. I ran up on it by accident. And I was like, oh, that's Sean right there. I was like, all right, let me listen to it. The joint dead slam, though. That joint is slapping like real hard, bro. I like that joint. We're telling the wife, you need to go ahead. I was like, that's Sean? I was like, yeah, that's Sean right there. He sing? Yeah, he sing. Yeah, go ahead. No.
I've been hiding. We're going to come out this year and see what we can do.
Yeah, I told y'all at the beginning of the year that Sean is trying to get me back into the game, but just seeing, seeing that individual song and that, and the way that people reacting to it, it really does my heart good because this is my bro. This is what he do. This is what he do, and it's awesome. It was wonderful. Like I said, it was dope watching it being made. The whole place smelled like cannabis, but outside of that,
I was about to say it looked like it was
Yes, sir. That's the vibe.
Yeah, but it was a whole vibe, and it was wonderful to see it. It was wonderful to be a part of it. It touched my heart that, and it doesn't surprise me. This is my brother that he would want me to be there with him when he did that, and just to see the reaction and to see the finished product was absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, because I thought it was going to be a sweaty match. You remember all the sweating?
Bro, remember when I called you over after y'all was doing a shoot? I was like, Sean, calm the fuck. I was like, calm the fuck down.
I couldn't, nigga. I was performing. And
David, they was doing the shoot, and Sean is sweating like he Patrick Ewing in the fourth quarter.
Oh no!
I'm serious. So I called him over. I said, Sean.
Well, people don't realize that people Patrick Ewing in the fourth quarter be swimming.
Bro, I said, Sean. I said, calm, because first of all, he had on a hoodie, and it was hot as a bitch in the room. He had on a hoodie. I said, Sean, calm the fuck down. I said, relax, dude. I said, it's okay. He said, I'm performing, man. I can't help it. I'm performing.
Nigga, even if I'm not supposed to, I gotta do
But
it.
here's the thing about it, right? Niggas ran and got a whole roll of paper towels for this nigga, right? But then after they finished shooting the video, they turned on the air conditioning in the room.
They had an AC the whole time.
They had AC the whole time, bro.
The whole motherfucking time.
They could have hooked it up, but I love them to death. No, shout out to that shit. That shit was funny as hell to me. I just was glad it didn't turn out. Shout out to Different too. She's the one that shot the video for it. Plus Majors is the one that got his band together, Infinity Band. One that shot them out.
Yeah, man, they're so dope. They're so dope.
Dope as hell. When we were sitting there making this thing and everything about that, just them coming up with the whole vibe of it.
And they literally made it on the spot.
Yeah. With the live version wasn't even gonna be. It was just gonna be the song, but we were just like, fuck it, we'll just do the live shit, and that shit came out so dope. So that inspired me to maybe try to do a whole live album. So what's up?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll be calling you too. You know I need them vocals.
I know, bro. Okay, you got it, man. You got it. I've been back in the lab making some beats, but you got it. Cause see, I'm gonna need some vocals from you, but I'm gonna need some rap vocals from you.
Man, I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
I can do.
Well, ditto. But look, this is your moment, brother. This is your moment, and absolutely, and you already know I got your back. Whatever you need, anything you need.
Sure.
Anything you need. But, yeah.
I mean, real shout out to like all RVA music.
Absolutely.
That came out of our class.
Absolutely. Go
That's
check
like
out
a
that
real big thing.
jump. Also, Big No and No Oh, that jump just dropped too. That shit is pretty fire.
Absolutely.
Shout out to as well.
Absolutely. And if you don't mind, when we rock out the show to the end of it, can I end the show with playing Dinner and a Movie? I need your permission.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Done Dizzle.
Oh, that's love, bro. Thank you.
Done Dizzle. So yeah, when I end the show today, I'm not gonna end it with playing, the Sports Plus Life. I'm gonna end it playing Dinner and a Movie. Done Dizzle.
For sure.
All right. So anyway, fellas, I'm gonna get at y'all next week. I got to go get London. Not RIHANNA, but I got to go get London off the bus. Yo, man, I'm gonna hit y'all up soon.
Jaguar Tesla. Beyonce, Jaguar, Tesla Towns.
I'm fucking weak. You are dumb, bro. But I'm gonna get at y'all, man. I love y'all, man. Take y'all time.
I love y'all. Easy,
all right, man. All right. Brother Sean, cousin David. Oh, man. Classic. Dinner and a Movie, you guys. Check that out on Facebook. My brother did his thing. Okay. All right. Well, you guys know the guy. You know him. Friend of the show, family of the show. His Philadelphia Eagles hate finally paid off. Tony, what it do, bro?
Yo, what's up?
I just got off the phone with Sean and David. What was your takeaway from this Super Bowl? Even though Tony called me right after, called me in the third quarter, and he called me right after the game ended. What was your takeaway from the game, bro?
I mean, it was what a Super Bowl is supposed to be. A highly competitive game. I mean, I thought it was a good game. I thought it was a good Super Bowl. Fans got their respective money worth, no matter how people viewed the ending. It's hard to complain.
Well,
that was my takeaway. I'll say this. I mean, statistically, that's kind of scary that they, scored the same amount of points and, all of those things, the similarity between the two teams. But a lot of people going in definitely had somebody else from the AFC going, either the Bills or the Bengals. And once again, Andy Reid and Mahomes, prove that they are
still the class of the AFC.
Yeah,
they're
on the verge of being considered a dynasty. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, they were asking that question earlier. I'm not gonna say they're a dynasty yet. I think they need to win one more Super Bowl. I said they are a dynasty as far as the AFC is concerned, but I need to see one more Super Bowl before we can consider that a dynasty. That's just my opinion. I take nothing away from the Kansas City Chiefs. I do not like the way the game ended. I thought there were worse penalties that could have been called that weren't. even if the Eagles would have still lost the game, I would have liked to seen the ball in Jalen Hurts' hands with a little under 2 minutes to go to see if he could put Philadelphia in a position to tie to send it to overtime. Big of Bradbury to admit that it was a hold. A lot of players would have just, denied it till the cows came home. But I don't think it. Like I said, I hated that call because it wasn't much. I mean, I guess by the letter of the law you could call it, but you've seen other stuff let go. I think it because the game was so great. It was such a great game. You just wanted to see it, and you didn't want it being an officiating call that had anything to do with the outcome of that football game. The Eagles didn't lose because of that call. They lost because of their defense. I just would have liked to have seen Jalen Hurts with the ball because he was clearly head and shoulders the best player on the field that night for either team.
Well, I'm gonna go with Dean Blandino's take on it. A penalty is a penalty, whether it's in the first quarter or in the fourth quarter. You can't officiate by situation.
I respect your opinion. I just don't agree with it in that case scenario as far as the Super Bowl. I respect your opinion.
That's not my opinion.
I respect Dean Bland.
You cannot officiate by situation. You can't say, well, it's this point in the game, so let me not call this, or it's this point in the game, so let me call everything. You got to be consistent across the board. You're going to call it in the first quarter, you got to call it in the fourth quarter, no matter what.
That's the thing about it. There were penalties that were not called in the first quarter and the second quarter.
This is true.
Exactly. So there was no.
Pointed out in his thing, he said he was talking about Lane Johnson. He was like, how many false starts?
Right, exactly. Well, exactly.
Actually committed.
Exactly. You called me in the third quarter about that, and I couldn't disagree with you. So if you're gonna be, I agree with you. If you're gonna be consistent, be consistent. But the referees weren't consistent, and they picked the worst time on a really ticky-tack play. Because the thing that got me is that it wasn't the line judge who threw the flag. The line judge who was right next to the play. He didn't throw the flag. It was the end zone referee who threw the flag. That's what got me. So clearly the line judge was like, that ain't enough in this situation with these stakes. That ain't enough to warrant that. But another referee felt otherwise. But I mean, it is what it is.
Well, ultimately, it was kind of not Blandino, but the other guy, Pereira, explained why they called it, because he actually held him twice. I think I sent you that picture of the jersey tug. That's what they called.
I know.
Around his waist, they called the jersey tug from the get-go.
It just sucks because for one, the pass wouldn't have been catchable. He could have let Juju run free. The pass wasn't catchable, but it wasn't a pass interference call. It was defensive holding. And two, like I said, I just wanted to see what would happen because it was a shootout. It was offense against offense.
You cannot do it. Why can't you do it, Rams Saints? That's why you have to make that call, because if you don't, you're going to have that kind of scrutiny on you. Rams Saints about with Rams Saints, a clear pass interference that they swallowed the whistle on.
Yeah, but see, Rams Saints, that was so clear. Like, see, the difference is that Rams Saints, he hit the motherfucker. Like, he knocked him, he decleated him. That could have been called a pass interference. That could have been called a personal foul. Like, that was so clear. This one, you're like, eh.
Speaking of personal fouls, I pointed out to my wife the clear spear on Pachenko where he got hurt.
Oh yeah, well, hey,
that was a clear spear. They did not call that.
But that's what I'm saying. It goes back to what you were saying about consistency. If you're gonna let them play, then let them play. Now, like I said, I understand what you're saying about Rams Saints, but that play on Bradbury could have clearly been a let them play moment. It wasn't that noticeable, that egregious, that flagrant, where the whole crowd just stood up and said, "What the hell was that?" When because that's what Rams Saints was. Everybody and their mama saw that was pass interference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If they hadn't have thrown the flag on Bradbury, you'd have been like, let him play. That play with Rams Saints, she was like, oh no, he interfered the fuck out of him. Like, no, he hit him 3 seconds before the ball got there. It's like, so it's a difference in situation. But I take nothing away from the Kansas City Chiefs because they made the adjustments at halftime and Philadelphia didn't. And Philadelphia didn't lose because of their offense. Again, I thought Jalen Hurts was the best player on the field. But I don't even know if you can argue that one. Jalen Hurts was clearly the best player on the field between either team. But Kansas City's adjustments, Philadelphia's defense could do nothing against Kansas City in that second half. Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy made the adjustments. Nick Sirianni's the defensive coordinator, Johnson.
Speaking of Bieniemy, just on a side note, how strange is it the losing team's offensive coordinator get a head coach's job, but the winning team's offensive coordinator get passed over again?
What is it about Bieniemy that people don't like?
I don't know.
Because dude should have been a head coach 4 years ago. I mean, it's almost to a point where you're like, look, you might as well just wait till Andy Reid retires.
Pretty much.
And take over from there. Because if you're not going to be a head coach now, because the Chiefs have consistently had the best, or if not a top 3 offense in the NFL since Patrick Mahomes has been quarterback, since Eric Bieniemy has been calling plays. And if you're not a head coach by now, you know, you might as well just, that's honestly what I always thought that Josh McDaniels was going to do with New England. I always thought he was going to wait till Belichick retired. We don't know when that is. But if I'm Bieniemy, I'm just like, you know what, fuck it. You know, Andy Reid's 64 years old. Even if he coaches for another 5-6 years, I'll just, you know, when he leaves, I'll be there.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Because there's no excuse why he hasn't been a head coach yet. None. And you got motherfuckers like Cliff Kingsbury, who has a losing record in college but gets to be an NFL head coach. Make it make sense. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Make it make sense. So, okay, so now because, you know, I've really been trying to get you on for the last couple weeks, and I haven't been able to, so I'm glad I got you today. I don't care if I got bad timing or not. Hey, I'm serious, bro. When I was talking to you yesterday, Super Bowl Sunday, I was alert. I remember everything we talked about, but I had a lot going on. I'm sure you heard all the noise in my background. I had a lot going on. But now I can ask some nitty-gritty questions. Let's look at both teams moving forward. Let's start with the Philadelphia Eagles and the NFC side of things. You know, they have a lot of free agents, a lot of key free agents. How do you think it looks for them moving forward? Because there's one thing I will say this. Jalen Hurts earned his money.
I think that, as stated, that I was going to text you a list of their free agents. Just in general, I figured you had it anyway.
Yeah, I got it.
Money is going to decide that. You know, how much money he gets, what kind of deal he gets. I mean, fortunately they had draft picks because some of those guys are just not coming back anyway.
I don't think Robert Quinn or Ndamukong Suh. I'm on the fence about Fletcher Cox because he was cut before this season started, but then signed a 1-year deal. I don't know if they'll do that again.
Joseph is probably gone. I wouldn't be surprised if Boston Scott is gone.
Sean was telling me he thinks Bradbury's going to be gone because somebody's going to throw him a boatload of money.
That's what's going to end up happening. I wouldn't be surprised if the kid Pascal is gone.
What? Okay. Yeah, I mean, if Pascal's gone, so what? I'll be honest with you.
Well, the thing with them, part of the thing with them was depth.
Absolutely.
And injuries get everybody.
Yep.
And then the question is the next man up adequate? When you paying these guys a damn near 30-year cap, you can't keep everybody, so you're gonna have to do bargains.
Miles Sanders might be gone.
Right. And so you just don't know, but I'd say it sucks. It sucks to be them in that position because that's the thing these quarterbacks nowadays.
You know why? You know why I don't think it's gonna suck to be them?
Unless
because they still have so much draft capital. They have so much draft capital.
Well, I mean that's your ace in the hole if it pans out, but unless you have a player like Mahomes that says, I will make a team-friendly deal. Or even what Brady did, for years.
And I see, but to be honest with you, I see Jalen Hurts doing that, because when you see Jalen Hurts, you don't get cocky, arrogant, full of himself. You actually see a team-first guy.
That don't mean that, no.
No, that's true.
That doesn't mean anything. When they get down to that brass tacks and
that's
the heat
true.
is in the ear, bruh, this your style of play. You don't have that long shelf life if that's the style of play you're going to try to take forward.
But see, here's the difference between him and Lamar Jackson, is that Jalen Hurts has made such a leap as a passer. If Jalen Hurts hadn't made the leap as a passer that he made, I would agree with what you said 100%. Jalen Hurts has made such a leap as a passer as that I believe in 3 to 4 years he will be an even deadlier pocket passer. So I believe his style of play and his shelf life will last longer than Lamar's because, one, their body types are different.
I disagree.
Okay.
You and I had this. I disagree. And the thing I pointed out, who is Lamar throwing to versus who is he throwing?
That's a good point. That's a good point. But I'm talking about accuracy.
If you have the weapons to look good, Philly did an excellent job in surrounding him with nothing but weapons for him to be.
Those weapons
you
aren't
arguably got a top 3 offensive line in the league, if not the best currently. So you were put in a position to succeed. That quite frankly, I'll be honest with you. All the quarterbacks in the playoffs, you give them a similar type weapon set, they should have that kind of success.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Those weapons aren't going anywhere. But those weapons aren't going anywhere. That's what I'm saying, though. I mean, what you're saying
one
is
weapon may be going away from the gate. Like one huge weapon may be going away from the gate because as of now he's non-committal. You don't even know if Kelsey is coming back.
No, I wasn't talking about offensive line, and that's a huge weapon. I was talking about skill position players.
Well, it doesn't matter what skill position you got at that offensive line.
No, I know. I honestly think that if the Eagles had won, I think Kelsey would have been out of there.
Because did you see what Kansas City did ultimately in the second half? Most people didn't notice it. I think one of the commentators said something, and I'm like, they got him rolling to the right. Keep him going to the right. Just keep him going to the right. He's going to have to run because he can't throw to the right. He can't. His dominant hand is right. He needs to roll. He needs to roll right. They had him going left. Mm-hmm. And he couldn't throw. Like literally, every time they had him roll, he had to throw it out of bounds.
Who hurts?
He had to run it or throw it out of bounds.
Yeah, and you know what? I guarantee you that's something that Jalen Hurts is going to work on in the offseason. I have faith in this dude as far as him putting in the work to make himself better year after year. It's easy. We always, a lot of us always say when we see the team that loses the Super Bowl, we look and see how talented they were, especially if they give a great account of themselves, like the Philadelphia Eagles did this year, like the Cincinnati Bengals did the year before. It's easy to say, yeah, they'll be back. But I'm looking at the NFC conference as a whole and saying the NFC conference is clearly the weaker of the two when it comes to NFC and AFC. There are a lot of question marks, there are a lot of question marks league-wide. But specifically about the NFC, I think the team with the most solid foundation, even with all of the free agency, because Howie, money ain't a thing with Howie Roseman. I look at the team with the best foundation-wise. Philadelphia is right there, so it wouldn't surprise me to see them be back in the Super Bowl next year, no less than NFC championship game. Because let's talk about this now. Who are the teams in the NFC that you got to look out for? Okay, Dallas is going to be there. Dallas, I don't know what Dallas is going to do in the offseason. I think you have to look out for the Detroit Lions. I think the Detroit Lions are coming. You don't know what's going to happen with the Giants, what they're going to do with Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, if they're going to get Daniel Jones any weapons. You're talking about the weapons that Jalen Hurts has. Well, what does Daniel Jones look like if he has those type of weapons? You don't know what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers. To me, frankly, with Aaron Rodgers, who cares? Because to me, Aaron Rodgers is nothing but a drama show. Who cares? What are the Bears going to do with Justin Fields? What are the 49ers going to do at quarterback? What is Matthew Stafford going to look like next year coming off an injury with the Rams? I don't think you have to worry about the Cardinals because Kyler Murray is going to be out majority of the season. So it's a lot of questions. So I think the road back to a Super Bowl would be easier to Philadelphia. And I want to compare and contrast both teams, and I'm starting with Philadelphia. What do you think about the NFC picture headed into the offseason? What do you think that looks like as far as return trip to the Eagles to the Super Bowl, or who will that next team be to come out of nowhere and possibly get to the Super Bowl or make some noise and get close to the Super Bowl? Who do you think?
I think a lot of I think pretty much it'll likely be a repeat of the same teams. Surprised to see some major talent shift, particularly offensively. I wouldn't be surprised to see some of that shift around. Because all those teams that are there, they feel like they're a few pieces away, either defensively or offensively. Like you said with the Giants, they got to get him receivers.
Right.
Like if you're gonna roll with Daniel Jones, you got to get him somebody to throw to.
Yeah, you got to get him some weapons.
Right. And there's no doubt in my mind, like in our particular case, there's already talk. Yeah, I mean, there's already talk of not necessarily OBJ. For whatever reason, there's DeAndre Hopkins talk.
I've heard a few teams about DeAndre Hopkins, yeah.
Right. So, I don't know. I don't know about Deron Payne. I don't know what Michael Parsons is talking about. Deron Payne is under contract, so last I checked. But I just think it'll be a repeat of the same teams. I would not be surprised to see San Fran add a piece or two.
San Fran's main thing seems to be, what are you going to do at quarterback?
Yeah. Well, I think they're going to draft. They're going to go ahead and draft a quarterback. But,
I don't think they're going to draft a quarterback. You just drafted one 2 years ago, and I understand. So what have you done for me lately? But that's like, I mean, you have a Trey Lance is going into his third year. Brock Purdy is going into a second, but he'll be coming off of surgery. I think they're going to leave the quarterback competition to them. But I mean, you could be right. But that's a tough one. But what do you think about Detroit?
I just said Detroit should be focusing all on the defensive side of the ball. They got offense. They got more than enough offense. Man, they got so much offense. They Waterboy is a damn threat on the field. So they don't need nothing else on that side of the ball. They need something to go with what's the kid, Hutchinson?
Oh, on defense, yeah, Hutchinson.
Yeah, they need some tackles. They need to be able to stop the run and to collapse that pocket. So they need to go all defense, cornerbacks, everything. They need to go all defense.
Yeah, offense definitely is not a problem.
Seven. They don't even really need corners, I don't think.
They have a very good offensive line. Detroit has a very good offensive line.
Well, that's what I was saying. They don't need nothing on the offensive side of the ball. They need to go totally defensive in that draft. Then, I mean, they're not particularly strapped salary cap wise, so yeah, they need to maybe pursue a name or two.
Yeah. No. Okay. So now let's shift to the AFC. The Kansas City Chiefs are back on the throne as far as the king of the NFL. Kansas City Chiefs are back on the throne. Now, to me, the AFC is clearly the harder, I would say, superior conference as far as the harder road to get back to the Super Bowl. And I'll give you some examples. Like I said, offseason, everybody's a question mark in the offseason. I'll go to the AFC West where the Chiefs play. Kellen Moore is now the offensive coordinator for Justin Herbert. We have to see what that looks like. Sean Payton is now Denver's head coach. We got to see what that's going to look like with Russell Wilson. Moving to the AFC South, I think that's Jacksonville's division, head, shoulders, and above. But Jacksonville is clearly going to be better. They are coming. The AFC North, Deshaun Watson is going to have a whole off season with his guys. I think Cleveland will be better for it. Lamar Jackson will be back. Burrow and the Bengals, they ain't going nowhere. They're angry. I believe they thought they should have beat Kansas City. The AFC East, I think Bill O'Brien being back in New England as an offensive coordinator for Mac Jones is huge. I think that's huge. You still got Buffalo will be back and healthy. Von Miller will be back. The Miami Dolphins, what is Tua going to look like? Who are the New York Jets are going to get as quarterback? Because if you get Aaron Rodgers or Derek Carr as quarterback for the New York Jets, they're one of those teams where everybody's going to say they're a quarterback away. How do you see things stacking up with the Chiefs as far as getting back to the Super Bowl next year out the AFC?
I think they have a good shot. It's going to be a tough road. Like you said, everything you just broke down is true. Some of those teams are still in that developmental phase. They'll be, potential playoff teams, but I don't think they necessarily pose that big of a threat to the Chiefs unless they just have a really off game. But the top-heavy part of it, with those teams, it comes down to health. It also comes down to, in the case of Buffalo, whether Josh Allen is going to continue to regress or what.
Regress or progress.
Yeah. I mean, because he definitely regressed.
Now, how much of that could you attribute to the elbow injury that was reported mid-season? That's a big thing because you got to think about this now. Buffalo's offense for the first half of the season was looking lights out. Then the elbow injury, you couldn't really tell because he was still doing Josh Allen shit as far as like running the football, blase. So if Buffalo, the injury bug affects all 32 teams. But if Josh Allen stays healthy, Von Miller stays healthy, because you clearly missed him. How do you think Buffalo was?
Ironically, who clearly missed Lamar Jackson? Because they win that game likely if Lamar played.
I agree with you.
So, it's rough over there.
I think Buffalo needs to get a running game. To me, that's what I would focus on. I would focus on Buffalo getting a running game, so Josh Allen doesn't have to be their running game.
The mocks have this dude going to one of two teams. For whatever reason, he's listed to go to us or Buffalo. Bijan.
What college did he go to?
I can see that making more sense. Bijan is out of
because that name sounds familiar.
Bijan Robinson. Yeah.
Let me see. Bijan.
That's running back in the draft.
That's
allegedly.
I was going to say I've heard about
three
this
down back.
I've heard about this dude. Bijan Robinson. You said he has him going to y'all or Buffalo?
Pretty much every mock has him either going to us or Buffalo. Because there's this belief that we may
Texas.
Yeah, Tech moved from both Pollard and Zeke.
Well, damn.
I don't know if I'm a fan. Well, yeah. I mean, why pay Pollard? You can pay the money on Zeke, and you don't have to pay Pollard.
Well, yeah, that would make sense. You can cut Zeke, pay Pollard. I mean, you can cut Zeke. You can let Pollard walk. You don't have to pay him, and you just have a running back on a rookie deal. Yeah.
Yep.
That makes perfect sense. And then if you're Buffalo, you don't have to pay Singletary, who you don't really use like that anyway.
Nope.
And
would fit them perfectly because he's a dude you don't have to take off the field at all. He does pretty much everything well.
I mean, that's the whole reason why they got why the Bills traded for dude from the Colts, Naeem Hines, is because they needed a third down back. Now, if this dude from Texas is a 3-down back, then you kill two birds in one stone.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I want to ask you about what did you think of the halftime show, sir?
I thought Rihanna looked really pregnant. Like I said it, yeah, I mean, it was pretty obvious that she was pregnant. A lot of people thought that was.
I thought it was baby fat at
I'm
first.
like, no, you could tell the way she was moving, she was pregnant.
Yeah, see, when I first saw her, I thought it was baby fat, but when I saw the way she was moving, I was like, oh no, she pregnant.
My thing was I felt like they should have flipped the national anthem and America the Beautiful. They should have flipped and had Babyface doing the national anthem, but that's just my take on it.
But the dude who did the national anthem, I don't know if you watched the Grammys last week. He did the performance with Stevie Wonder, and it was awesome. So when I saw that it was him doing the national anthem, I was like, oh, okay. And he killed the national anthem. He did good. Like, he didn't do it a disservice. It didn't sound countrified. That's a country dude with soul. I'm serious. That is a country dude with soul. But do you think last year's halftime show was better or this year's halftime show?
Who was last year? The Weeknd?
No, last year was Dre, Snoop, Mary J, Kendrick. 50,
yeah. Simply from a overall talent perspective, last year was better. Well, yeah, because plus Eminem was at the end too, right?
Yeah, that was Eminem at the end.
Yeah, last year was better. Now, to some fans, maybe not if you're not a hip-hop head, but to have that and then be able to cover a whole era, I guess, in terms of hip-hop, that was pretty cool versus just Rihanna. I like Riri, but I don't think she stacks up to that cast of characters. So, yeah, I think last year was better.
I think this is what I think about it. I think last year was better because of what you just said. Pretty much last year you had hip-hop's Avengers on the stage. You had 5 or 6 different acts. But what Rihanna's show did for me personally was it reminded me of her greatness. And every song that she performed was my shit. And that leads me to saying this. Rihanna got Beyonce. They need to go ahead and set up the verses now between Rihanna and Beyonce. I don't give a fuck about what the Beehive think, whatever. Rihanna got B.
I'll say this. For what they are, the difference between those two are, although Rihanna has been pushed, she got the backing. Beyonce is sort of like Diana Ross was. There were far more talented ladies, but because she had the full power of Motown behind her, Diana Ross got the limelight. That's literally what Beyonce is, because there's some would argue that she wasn't even the most talented in Destiny's Child.
Right.
So, there's that. And then that eternal debate that existed prior to, I guess, with Beyonce and somebody like Alicia Keys. Like, dude, really? Talent perspective, Alicia Keys got her in her sleep.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
right.
Because she markets herself a particular way, they're different.
But the same people who are marketing Beyonce is marketing Rihanna.
But that's the thing. That was the same thing with Motown. A lot of the female singers that were pushed by Motown, they were under Motown, but Diana Ross was the main push. No matter what, she was going to be the main push.
Okay.
Even though there were ladies that were more talented.
But now, I'm taking this away from a marketing and promotional standpoint and a fan base, because we all know Beyonce's got that. But what I'm saying as far as a versus goes, if you go hit for hit, song for song, because Rihanna didn't even do half of what was in her catalog.
Well, catalog-wise, Rihanna, and talent-wise, Rihanna's going to get her in the verses.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about in the verses,
the money perspective, then, Beyonce wins that. Most likely.
I'm talking pound for pound music versus wise. I know what the financial and promotion thing is with Beyonce and her fan base. I'm strictly talking music. I'm talking hits.
Here's your comparison. I keep mentioning Diana Ross.
Right.
Diana Ross got the Wiz role. Stephanie Mills did the Wiz on Broadway. Who was more talented?
Oh, Stephanie Mills.
Stephanie Mills, easily. That's the difference. That's what you're talking about. So yeah, I'd agree that head to head, Rihanna should smoke her.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm taking the fan base because I know I don't know if
it's like your boy and they weren't, the catalogs weren't close, but he got more in his catalog than people think. That versus with Babyface and Teddy Riley.
Yeah.
They were playing the songs and then Babyface picked up a guitar and it was over.
Right.
It was over.
Right. Exactly. And like with the verses, you know, you got the fan bases, but one thing, the people out there, like the talking heads, the critics, the radio stations, they do fair comparison. You know, like when they did 3 6 Mafia versus Bone Thugs and Harmony. Yeah, a lot of people love Bone Thugs and Harmony, but you looked at the verses song for song, it was, 3 6 won. You saw the Lox versus Dipset. Okay, yeah.
Well, that was Jada Kiss.
Yeah, no, Jada Kiss had a Jordan night.
You didn't even need nobody else.
You didn't. Jada Kiss had I always said that versus was Jada Kiss's flu game.
Right.
That was Jada Kiss's flu game. Chris Brown versus, not Chris Brown, Omarion versus Mario. You know, Mario had to go back. I mean, Omarion had to go back to his B2K songs.
Now, versus with Chris Brown, I would have liked to seen Usher.
Oh, bro, I put out a playlist that got blocked by YouTube. Fuck y'all. No, I'm just playing. I put out a playlist, Chris Brown versus Usher. I want to see that. I would want to see that. If not Chris Brown versus Usher, which I think is the more appropriate versus, because of they have similar styles of music and have done a lot of songs together. I would like to see Chris Brown versus Trey Songz, but Trey Songz would be more of a person to go against R. Kelly in a versus.
Right. But he would lose that.
Yeah, nobody. Let me tell you something. I don't give a fuck if R. Kelly's in jail or not. Nobody is beating R. Kelly in a versus. If you're an R&B dude and you're going against R. Kelly, you will lose. I don't give a fuck if you're Usher, if you're Trey Songz, if you're Jacquees, if you're Luther Vandross, you're not beating R. Kelly in a versus. Period.
Well, see,
Think about it.
The only problem with somebody like Luther is most people don't realize a lot of Luther songs are not original. He made them his, but they're not originally his. Like even a house is not a home. That's not.
Well, that more or less proves my point. You're not beating R. Kelly in a versus.
But the aforementioned person could beat R. Kelly.
Who?
Babyface could beat R. Kelly.
Who?
Babyface could beat R. Kelly.
Okay, all right. You might got me. Okay. You might got me there.
Because who ain't he wrote a hit for?
You might got me there.
Like,
okay, I would say Babyface and R. Kelly would come to a draw.
Doing all the songs he wrote for other people, and I'm sitting here saying Tony Braxton, Bobby Brown wouldn't even have a career if it wasn't for Baby.
But you know Teddy Riley did a lot for Bobby Brown now.
No, not like Babyface did. Not like
I think Babyface did more for Johnny Gill and New Edition.
No, My Prerogative, Every Little Step. Boys to Men, damn near all the Boys to Men hit Babyface.
Well, no, I know. Listen, you know I know about Boys to Men. Of course I know what Babyface did for Boys to Men. I'm talking about Bobby Brown. My Prerogative was Teddy Riley.
My Every Little Step, My Prerogative, and Tender.
No, My Prerogative was Teddy Riley. Now, Every Little Step, that was Babyface.
Huh?
Every Little Step, that was Babyface, but My Prerogative, the beat and everything was Teddy Riley. That was Teddy Riley. I promise you.
Okay.
I promise you. Now, Every Little Step I take, yes.
He's saying it like it was his, though.
Tenderoni, yes, but I know My Prerogative was Teddy. But I get what you're saying. I think Babyface and R. Kelly may fight to a draw.
Or better yet, I'll just say, what movie soundtrack has R. Kelly?
Oh, come on now. That's not fair.
Babyface has done that.
That's not fair.
Exhale is...
You talking about Babyface and soundtracks, Boomerang, Waiting to Exhale? That's not fair.
It ain't fair.
That's not fair now. Come on.
Versus.
Okay, well, that's true.
In the name of love.
That's true. Okay.
but you're right in that they're in their own class.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And then there's everybody else. So you'd have to, like, literally, if you're going to pull Babyface, if he was still alive, you had to dust Prince off and say, go get him.
See, and that's why I'm pushing so much. That's why I want to start pushing so much for Rihanna versus Beyonce, because we'll never get to see Michael Jackson versus Prince the way we want to see them. We'll never get to see Tupac versus Biggie the way we want to see them.
You wouldn't want to see that. Nobody would want to see that.
Of course I would.
No, you wouldn't, because Prince would smoke them.
It doesn't matter who smokes who.
I'm not playing none of my old records. I'm about to release a new album right here on the Versus.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, but it doesn't matter who smokes who. But when I say we wouldn't see them the way we want to see them, as far as them two being on stage, going against each other, I don't care who wins. You know,
we've
because
only seen it one time with them on stage together. That's that with James Brown concert.
Right, exactly. So, but see, you know, both of those brothers were gone way too soon. They even if they were alive today, they would still be at an age where they could make that happen. But unfortunately, we're never going to get to see it. Same thing with Tupac and Big. We're never going to get to see it.
Because he would be what? How old would Michael Jackson be 60. If he were alive today?
About 62, 63.
Okay, so that's fair, because Babyface was, 60? He was like 63 when he did that Versus.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Is in their 60s.
That's what I'm saying. When the Isley Brothers went against, who the fuck did the Isley Brothers go against? Oh, they had a Versus. But I know,
they did.
Yeah, the Isley Brothers did a Versus. I think it was Earth, Wind, and Fire. Isley Brothers versus Earth, Wind, and Fire.
That ain't fair. Not without Maurice White, that ain't fair.
Yeah.
With Maurice White, then you got a whole different animal.
Yeah, and then you had Keith Sweat versus Bobby Brown. They're here to do that stuff. They ain't do nothing but sit there and get drunk the whole time, but they were there when their hits was being played.
Keith Sweat and Alexander O'Neal or somebody. Freddie Jackson.
Well, look, hey, I mean, Keith Sweat, Keith Sweat was getting drunk the whole time. It was funny as a bitch. It was. And
people like that, I don't, yeah. Because it's like having Drew Hill. No, you don't even need the other members, just Cisco.
Oh, come on now. Don't do my boy Jazz like that.
I'm going to do him like that.
No, I'm not going to allow it.
Do him like
Listen,
that.
Cisco is one of my favorite artists ever, but when it comes to vocally...
what's his name? Stokely?
I will know. I'm not going to let you do Jazz like that, because Jazz vocally is amazing. We know Cisco was the Michael Jackson of that group, but I'm not going to let you do Jazz like that. Because when they did the 25th reunion joint, 25th anniversary performance last year at the BET Awards, when Jazz came out there, it just made their sound so much better.
Okay. You telling yourself that's like...
I know, as a diehard Drew Hill fan, I won't let you do that.
Bell Biv DeVoe can sing? No.
I ain't talking about Bell. I'm not talking about BBD. Drew Hill could sing.
Yeah.
Ricky from Bell Biv DeVoe could sing. That's it. I'm the Drew Hill, the original Drew Hill. All of them niggas could sing. It's just two stood out more than the others. We know Cisco, like I said, Cisco was the Michael Jackson of that group. But Jazz was a strong number two. Because, never make a promise that I can't keep. That's Jazz.
Well, I look at it this way. All the Temptations got at least one song they was lead singer on.
Well, so does Drew Hill. So does Boyz II Men.
Yeah.
Oh, see, now, we getting on to we going to a whole nother thing now. This started with Rihanna versus Beyonce, and we didn't go into a whole nother thing. Okay, let me bring it back. Hold on, let me reel it back in, because I could talk to you about this for hours now. Let me bring it back. Let me switch topics right quick to the NBA, because the NBA...
I'll tell you something funny. Then I'll leave the music thing alone.
Okay.
This old, it was a live show where they had the Temptations and the Four Tops on stage at the same time, and they switched songs. Come to find out, Levi Stubbs, just as good a singer as David Ruffin or even Dennis. I think it was Dennis Edwards on the stage at that time. But he could have led. Actually, the strange thing is at one point Marvin Gaye almost was a temptation.
Well, when you have a trend-setting group, and I'm being honest with this, when you have a trend-setting group like the Temptations was, or like the Jackson 5 was, groups that come up after that, they mirror those groups. And I'm pretty sure they have a lead singer that could sing everything as good, if not better, than than the original, or at least as good. So that doesn't surprise me, because who was New Edition trying to emulate? The Jackson 5. Who was Boyz II Men trying to emulate? New Edition.
Right.
So
you're right about that, because the Temptations, Eddie Kendricks was one of the standout voices, obviously.
Yeah.
If not the standout voice, but then Christmas Just Passed and Silent Night, that's not Eddie Kendricks.
Right. And who was the Four Tops trying to emulate? The Temptations. So
I don't know, but they were actually the Four Tops were in existence before the Temptations, though.
But I'm talking about when you get that commercial recognition. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Yeah, Four Tops was older. They were the older group, but
the Temptations had the fame.
Plus, they danced, and the Four Tops didn't dance.
Right. Yeah.
They said that we ain't doing no damn dance rehearsal. We singers.
Yeah, I know that's right. As a singer who doesn't dance very well, I respect the hell out of that. But let me transition, because this last week the NBA trade deadline hijacked Super Bowl week. They hijacked it in a great way, between LeBron James breaking the scoring record, between the trade deadline, Kevin Durant going to Phoenix, D'Angelo Russell going to the Lakers. How are you viewing this NBA season now with such a busy mid-season trade deadline?
Thus far, I don't know what to make of it, because Dallas has struggled since the move.
That doesn't surprise me.
I don't think anybody, on paper, it looked like teams should be markedly better, but right now it's hard to tell.
That doesn't surprise me, because I did last week's show talking about Kyrie Irving to Dallas. I said him and Luka are going to put up their numbers, but they won't be able to stop nobody. You saw it last night.
I will make this observation, though. I think that the winner, low-key, of the move that they made is the Nets.
Oh, yeah.
I think the Nets are the winner, because they got a whole lot of working parts, and if they can figure out how to gel them working parts, they'll be a better team than they were with Kyrie and them.
Or trade assets. See, I said this last week when I was talking about the Kyrie trade, and this was before Durant. I said, you're going to find out what kind of coach Jacques Vaughn is, because now you have a bunch of B and C level players. You have a bunch of good role players. Now, if you're trying to build anything around Ben Simmons, good luck with that. But you have a bunch of good role players. If they don't gel, you at least have trade commodities, and you have a bunch of draft capital now. So I understand.
You see what Jacques Vaughn said yesterday?
About Ben Simmons?
He said, we're going to try to find Ben minutes.
Yeah, I saw it.
Like, literally, if you have a team that you put together where it's you can optionally incorporate Ben Simmons, you know what I'm saying? But you ready to roll without him. Push come to shove, then you already have the right mindset that we're gonna play with you or without you. Either way, we're gonna play.
Yeah, because Ben Simmons right now has no. His value has gone to shit. Ben Simmons' value has gone to nothing, because what I heard was they tried to trade him. Nobody wanted him.
Yep.
Nobody wanted him. And how do you go just because you a damn head case? Not anything bad as far as off the court. But you're a damn head case, you refuse to play offense, and now you don't even stay on the court. Now you're always injured. And nobody wants you.
Yeah.
So
and a team of role players, like you said, role players, well, all you got to do is play your role, do whatever it is you do best. You can just simply be a distributor, Ben Simmons, and contribute. be down and play defense and just contribute, addition.
I think a team full of role players is a great coach's dream because they can really flex and show what they're capable of as far as coaching.
Yep.
Because if you have good enough players that will contribute to any championship team, but you don't have the championship superstar, but you're still able to win 50 games or get into the playoffs, that's why I said we're going to find out what kind of coach Jacque Vaughn is. Now, what do you think of the Phoenix Suns now?
The jury's still out. Like, the jury's still out. I don't know what to make of them just yet.
I kind of feel the same way as you because, as soon as that trade happened and the fact that, they didn't have to give up DeAndre Ayton because I knew Booker wasn't or Chris Paul wasn't going anywhere. But you gave up Bridges, you gave up Crowder, you gave up Cam Thomas or Cam Johnson, one of them Cams. But but you still kept your core for you have Chris Paul, Booker, Durant, now Ayton. Everybody wants to anoint them as champions. And what I've been telling people is, didn't we do the same thing when James Harden went to the Brooklyn Nets? So you have to see it play out on the floor first. On paper, it looks great. But playing together means something. So I would still, in the Western Conference, I would still have to give that edge to Denver, who is the number 1 seed right now. Memphis, ever since Shannon Sharp happened, Memphis has kind of fallen off the wagon. Golden State, when they get healthy, because here's a fact that people may not understand, that when Curry, Thompson, and Green are healthy and are playing in a playoff series, they haven't been eliminated by anybody in the Western Conference in 9 years. 9 years. So I have to see that to believe it. Not saying it can't happen, but I have to see it to believe it. But I have to see Phoenix play first. The West is so crazy outside of the top 2 seeds, Denver and Memphis. What do you make of the Lakers deals?
I think to get what y'all got for what you gave up, I mean, it's great. I don't know. I don't know how much markedly better it actually makes you yet, but again, to be able to get what you got, those were gifts. I'm like, somebody really, really, really must low key be a Laker fan in these franchises to work with y'all, in that way, especially to be able to unload Westbrook. Now, Thomas Bryant.
I hated that we had to give him up.
Right. That's what I was thinking. That's the piece you should have wanted to keep. But I mean, you got out from under Westbrook. That's the important thing. And
but damn, we just loaded up the Nuggets because the Nuggets got Thomas Bryant.
Huh?
I said we just loaded up the Nuggets because the Nuggets have Thomas Bryant.
Yeah, and that helps them. From a depth standpoint, it helps y'all. You got somewhat of a talent infusion. How much, again, remains to be seen. LeBronica got to hit the floor. He got to play basketball.
Yeah, he hasn't played since he broke the damn record.
What you got?
He hasn't played since we broke the record.
Right. So the jury is still out on that. You like to believe that he could perhaps maximize, whatever y'all gonna be. He could maximize these guys that came in, but we'll see.
I don't know if it's enough time in the season to do that.
I mean, you got no choice. I mean, the thing about it is, you know what you got with Russell, though. So that's at least one piece that you know what you're going to get. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get, you'll get some contribution. That's what you're going to get from him, contribution. Because because he hasn't changed that dramatically from when he was there, before. He's become a little better offensively a little bit, but other than that, no.
Well, if to me, big winners of the trade deadline to me may have been the Denver Nuggets, because you got Thomas Bryant, you just got Reggie Jackson. So you're talking about depth off the bench behind Jamal Murray. Low-key important trade to me was Mike Conley going to Minnesota. I think Mike Conley going to Minnesota is actually a good thing for the Timberwolves. I love bringing back D'Angelo Russell as far as the Lakers go. Patrick Beverly, I actually didn't want to lose Pat Bev neither. He was just waived by Orlando. Heard the Chicago Bulls just reached out to him. Don't know if that's going to happen or not.
Yeah, it's actually him and Westbrook that they're interesting, because either way it's a tie. Whether Pat.
Yeah, I've heard the Miami Heat have reached out
with Donovan. Me personally, I'd rather have Westbrook though.
I heard the Miami Heat have reached out to both of those two, in particular Westbrook.
Yeah.
But yeah, I heard about Westbrook to Chicago because of the Billy Donovan factor. Okay.
Mostly because Donovan will give him minutes. Like the position we're in, he might just give Westbrook the ball and say, do whatever you feel, and that could be a good thing or a bad thing. It would be a good thing, I guess, from Westbrook's standpoint, because he can showcase himself and say, I still got game. In that way, because in Miami he'd be taking the ball out of Jimmy's hands, and that ain't conducive to what they need. And Pat Bev, he's an effort guy. He gonna come out, he gonna play D, but beyond that, I don't know.
So if you were to look right now, who do you think is coming out of the East and the West?
Underrated move, and this is influencing that pick, man. If Jay Crowder get himself together, I think the Bucks are still that team.
We on the same page.
And then out of the West, I don't know, bro. Denver.
That's it.
Denver looks like the prohibitive front way, but until they do it, I can't,
Yo, one of my homeboys asked me that same question yesterday, and I said the exact same thing you did. I said, I think the Bucks are still coming out the East. I said, the West, I don't know. I said, I don't know. I said, if you had asked me this a week ago, I would have said Denver definitive. No, I would have said Denver or Golden State definitively. Now, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's the Bucks.
But I think that I'm looking at the Eastern Conference. I think that second round of playoff games is going to be really the murderer's row, because I do think Brooklyn will fall in the standings. I think Brooklyn will fall to a play-in status. I think the Knicks will actually raise up to a top 6 seed. But I think that second round is going to consist of your top 4 seeds: Boston, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, and Cleveland. Cleveland's good, man. Yeah, Cleveland is good, man. Donovan Mitchell dropped another 40-burger last night. I remember at the beginning of the season you were saying, would they gel? They're good, man. But I still see it as the Bucks. But Lord have mercy. Bucks versus Philadelphia second round potentially. Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Boston versus Cleveland. Cleveland, like I said, Cleveland's good, man. You're looking at 2 7-game series, I think, in the Eastern Conference. In the second round, I think you'll have 2 7-game series. Because Cleveland has the size and the defense to keep up with Boston, and the scoring. We know what Donovan Mitchell is in the playoffs. And then you got those 2 giants in the middle to go right at Horford and Robert Williams if they stay healthy. And Milwaukee and Philadelphia, you talk about Giannis versus Embiid. Oh, my God. I almost wish that would be the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Cleveland is in their league. I just don't. Because we played them. I mean, of course, they're division games, but it took extenuating and exceptional things to happen in these games for them to beat us. So that size thing, it didn't really kill us. So I don't see that team like the Bucks. That may work against the Sixers, but Boston is kind of long too.
They are long, yes.
I don't think they have as much of an advantage in that size department as you think, especially with the Bucks. They don't.
No, I didn't. Who Boston having a size advantage? No, I didn't think that.
Cleveland.
No, I didn't think Cleveland had a size advantage. I just thought that they had the size to match Boston.
Yeah. We'll see.
We will see. But I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. What movies are you looking forward to the most?
Quantum Mania.
Yes, I'm going to see it on Friday.
Quantum Mania. I'm gonna tell you, because you ain't a comic book head. Why this is a thing, I don't know, but it's MCU. So Kang wouldn't even bother with somebody like Ant-Man.
Some about Jonathan Majors' character?
Yeah, Kang the Conqueror. In the comics, Kang the Conqueror. There literally is only one person that Kang is afraid of in the comics. That's Thanos.
Okay.
Because no matter where he goes in time, Thanos is there, and Thanos his ass. But other than that, Kang don't really fear nobody. But Kang don't even engage people like Ant-Man. For what?
Okay. All right. Well, brother.
Where they go with it.
Well, brother. Good catching up. Next time we talk, because I got batteries about to die. I want to get into that. I know it's 3 weeks old now, but I want to get into that Tyree Nichols situation like we talked about when it first happened.
Right.
But till next time, I'll hit you up next week.
Okay.
All right, bro.
All right.
Later. My man Tony, always dropping the knowledge. I'll tell you, we could have had that VERZUZ conversation all day long. But anyway, we about to close out. As we close up shop, I would like again to wish everybody a happy Valentine's Day, those who treasure the Hallmark holiday. And I'm not trying to be a Scrooge. That's just what Valentine's Day is to me. It's a Hallmark holiday. But I would like to say this to everybody out there. Don't make a conscious effort to do more on this one day just because TV says you should. You have 364 other days to show your significant other how much you love them. And it should definitely go beyond Valentine's Day, even though it can be pretty cool. It can be pretty cool. And earlier, I did not give my shout-outs like I normally do because, again, as I said, I was dealing with audio issues and I was just trying to get through this show. But shout out to my Springer fam, my Black and Gold fam, and my fam in general. Absolutely. Definite shout-outs. Shout out to everybody who helped make my Super Bowl party a success. Everybody who contributed. You guys know who you are. Aaron, Greg, B, Eddie, Devon, Jamie, Nana, Alicia for that queso dip. Lord have mercy. Let me say this to you right now. My best friend, Alicia, grew up with her. Well, I grew. She kind of stayed put after like fifth grade. I'm just playing. But that queso dip, that sausage queso dip that she makes is absolutely amazing. And she made us some and brought it over here, and I'm still eating on it. I am, because it is absolutely amazing. It's absolutely wonderful. But shout out to everybody who made my Super Bowl party an absolute fun success. It was fun, amazing. This is why I needed an extra day to recover. But how appropriate is it on Valentine's Day that I'm going to end off this show with the song that I was talking to Sean about, Sean's song, my brother's song, Dinner and a Movie, because this is Valentine's Day and a lot of people are doing just that, dinner and a movie. So definitely don't forget to hit that subscription button and become a part of the Sports Plus Life family. It's your boy Brandon Brevon Towns, and we are ending today's show with my brother, Sean Dante Vance, and his new single, Dinner and a Movie. It's awesome. Peace, and I love you guys.
You ain't gotta go tonight, you can stay. There is not a role tonight I won't play. Girl, you see right through me. Girl, you see right through me. Dinner in a movie. Dinner in a movie. Even when you callin', I'm on the way. There is not a word tonight I won't say. Girl, you see right through me. Girl, you see right through me. Dinner in a movie. Dinner in a movie. Hopped up out the koozie. Body look like ooey. You do something to me. Yeah. Dinner in a movie, won't you come on through? We do love is do we? Hit my phone tonight, trying to get you to my home tonight. In my zone tonight, trying to get you on alone tonight. You ain't got time for the bullshit, I get that. I ain't trying to do you no harm, girl, that's big facts. I'm just trying to give you the longest, you with that. Fuck you to the worst of this song, girl, I'm in that. In the bedroom shaking, and that ass get naked. Turn the lights down low. And it's one thing certain, that it's lights, camera, action. It's time for a show. You ain't gotta go tonight, you can stay. There is not a role tonight I won't play. Girl, you see right through me. Girl, you see right through me. Dinner in a movie. Dinner in a movie. Even when you callin', I'm on the way. There is not a word tonight I won't say. Girl, you see right through me. Girl, you see right through me. Dinner in a movie. Dinner in a movie. Hey, girl, you such a cutie. Wanna be your groupie. You do something to me. Hey, tear me up and use me. I just hope you choose me. You do something to me. Hey, am I wrong tonight? If I try to take you home tonight. Hey, feeling grown tonight. I'ma do you something wrong tonight. Yeah, I ain't got time for the bullshit. I'm with that. She ain't tryna do me no harm, girl. I need that. Hit my line whenever you off, girl. I'm with that. Fuck me to the worst of this song, girl. I need that. Hey, hey, in the bedroom shaking, and that ass get naked. Turn the lights down low. And it's one thing certain, that it's lights, camera, action. It's time for a show. Roll tonight, you can stay. Roll tonight, I won't play. Yeah. Dinner in a movie. Yeah. You ain't gotta go tonight, you can stay. There is not a role tonight I won't play. Girl, you see right through me. Girl, you see right through me.